Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rylee and I haven't posted a video like this in years, so if you have been around since then, please say hi in the comments. I appreciate you sticking around and waiting for me to come back. I have been getting a lot of questions, the whole time I was gone, which was pretty much 2 years, but especially recently about what this is going to look like coming back, so I do want to talk about that more at the end of this video. But today's video, the title is not clickbait. This is another custom bullet journal, a 12-month full doodle custom bullet journal, all 192 pages, hand drawn, just like what I used to do. And so as of right now, my plan, in short, is to do about one of these journals a month. I do have 2 kids now. Before, when I would do like a custom journal every week, I did not have kids and it was in the middle of the pandemic, so I didn't really have anything else to do. So now I will be slowing down substantially. And that said, my April slot, I still have 1 April slot available right now. So I'm gonna link that below if you guys are at all interested in grabbing a custom journal for yourself. And how that works is you place your order, you go through the Google form, you tell me as much or as little as you want about your journal. Like, you can pick every detail and just nitpick everything, send me pictures, say make it exactly like this. Or you can say, I know that I want a butterfly theme. You interpret that as you will, kind of thing, you know? So you can give me as much or as little freedom as you would like. And then it will just be kind of an ongoing conversation between you and I as we go through the process of making your journal. So that spot is still open for April. You can feel free to check out the link down below. All of my supplies, I like to link there as well too. So this journal is for Alyssa. You can find her on Instagram and on TikTok as the Sage Kindle. So there are a lot of reading elements to her journal. She loves reading. She has a book account on Instagram and TikTok. And so this journal is for her. And the really special thing about this one is that we made this entire journal on TikTok Live. So there were a few pages where I cheated and I made them on my own just because I move so much faster when I'm not also like talking with you guys on live. But the fun thing about doing it on live was like our process basically looked like this. Okay, so what should we do for the next month's theme? People would just dump ideas in the comments. I would pick kind of my top 4 or 5 and then list them as options. Like, if you like option 1, put a 1 in the comments. If you like option 2, put a 2. We would do that. Okay, now that we've chosen our theme, what colors? And then we would do the same thing. Okay, now that we've chosen our colors, what font style, what kind of layout? Like, we picked everything step by step together, which I have never done anything like that. It's always been just my ideas onto the paper, and now it was all of our ideas onto the paper, which made it so fun to put together. So I hope that you guys enjoy this video. Like I said, it is a full 12-month journal. I have been sharing little sneak peeks on my Instagram as well, and I plan to drop some tutorials there too for some of these themes, some of these lettering styles. So if there are certain themes that you want to see a tutorial for, please let me know in the comments. And as usual, as we go through the video, please let me know in the comments which of these themes was your favorite. So here is Alyssa's journal that we'll be flipping through today. One of the things I do want to point out is the little charm that we added. This is something I've just started doing really recently. I got a bunch of charms to add to all of my journal orders. So whether you're ordering an empty journal or a custom journal, you can choose a little charm to put on it. I have letters of the alphabet in a few different styles, and then a bunch of just like miscellaneous charms as well that you can attach to the bookmark, or I'll attach them to the bookmark for you, but you get to choose a charm. And so that's the first little feature that I just wanted to point out. Other than that, these are the same journals that I launched back in 2022, if you're familiar with them. So they've got the elastic closure, elastic pen loop, 2 ribbon bookmarks, 160 GSM paper, that's stark white with the 5mm dot grid, and there are 192 pages, which is way more than I used to have when I did custom journals. So we had a lot of space to play around with in this one. So here is our little name page, and the journal starts in 2025. We've got a future log and year in pixels for both mood and weather, and she wanted me to leave this empty so that she could fill in her own key with the right number of boxes for what she decided to use. Then we get into the months. So this journal starts in April of 2025, and every month has the same pages. So it's got a title page over here, a habit tracker to the left, a 2-page calendar spread with a spot for some notes, and then the weekly spreads. The next theme that we did in this one was this gummy bear theme for May. Such a fun little bright theme, and honestly just like they're so simple to doodle. They're just little blobs with a few lines. I did a tutorial over on my Instagram, and I'm sharing a bunch of tutorials from this journal on my Instagram, so be sure to follow me there if you like that kind of thing. We've got our calendar and our weekly spreads. Same layout as April, but we always voted on the layout as well on TikTok Live, and so at first there were less voters, so we had a lot less opinions, and we ended up doing a lot of these style weekly spreads over and over. But as the people contributing grew, we started getting more and more creative with our different spreads, and I think you'll be able to tell that at the end of the journal. Then we did this little mini fruit theme for June. We did a different weekly layout here with just long horizontal days of the week. The stamps that I used these in almost every month. There are a few where I didn't, but those are my handwriting stamps that I also launched a few years ago, kind of right before I stopped making custom journals. But yeah, this is my handwriting turned into days of the week stamps. There's also months of the year, which I didn't use in this journal other than for the future log. But yeah, the days of the week stamps came in super handy. I never had them before when I used to do custom journals, but it honestly made just writing in the dates so much faster and cuter, because I used to always just do printing for the dates because it would take so long to do calligraphy for every single day of the year. So having the stamps really worked well for me. Next we have July, and this is one of my favorite themes that we came up with, this cute little cow theme, and I am just obsessed with the font for this one. It was really easy to do, and again, I'm sharing tutorials for this kind of stuff over on my Instagram. And again, we defaulted to this weekly spread that we also used in April and May. And as we're flipping through this journal, be sure to let me know in the comments which of these themes was your favorite. I know July is one of mine and August is another. I love the August theme. We went with a vibrant beachy theme, and yeah, we've got some like sand pails with shovels, some goggles, and then a bunch of just like splashes and fun abstract shapes. And you'll see that even more on the weekly spreads. We went with a very just like kind of random weekly layout. Nothing is measured. The boxes are not all the same size. There's just big old boxes and a bunch of doodles filling the space in between. Then we have September, and this theme is one that I did in my own journal back in November. I believe 2021 is when I did this one, or it's pretty close anyways. But we just did these leaves and sparkles all over the place with some kind of ombre calligraphy throughout. And again, we went back to this weekly spread was just our go-to for the first about half of the journal. I think this might actually be the last month that we used that weekly spread. Now for August, we voted on a caramel apple theme over on TikTok. So we've got caramel apples with other kind of fall and October doodles sprinkled in. Pumpkins, acorns, all that kind of stuff. And the lettering for this month was so fun to do. It's got caramel just dripping off of it. And here we went with more of a vertical weekly layout. Then we have November. November was this little forest critters theme. So we've got a little squirrel, fox, bunny, we've got a few birds and some other fall sort of doodles. And then those animals all make a comeback later in the month, which this page right here is actually probably my favorite page of November, with like the leaves blowing across the top and then the little family of rabbits with this little baby rabbit getting distracted by the bird. It was just such a fun little idea that we came up with on live and decided to put in the journal. Here's a very different weekly layout, one that I've never actually used before in a custom journal that we voted for together. Then we have December, and December is a kind of familiar theme. I did a variation of this theme a few years ago for a custom journal, and Alyssa requested this one in her journal with the purple and the sort of teal green leaves. So we've got this coffee theme, and this theme ended up being another one of my favorites, especially the weekly spreads. Oh no, this is pretty much the same weekly spread that I said we may have been done with in this journal, but it is a little bit different because we've got the doodle running down the middle instead of just up on this side. But yeah, these weekly spreads are probably my favorite in the journal, and again, made super simple by just like stamping on the dates and yeah, not having to, you know, divide the page up like crazy, just a simple line, some doodles, and stamp in your day. January is another theme that I really loved, this little Polaroid theme. Alyssa asked for a Polaroid theme and then gave like full creative freedom on what we made that look like. So we ended up just incorporating the little Polaroid pictures onto this sort of pegboard type of thing. And then you'll see the Polaroid photos themselves as kind of the main feature of the weekly spreads. But I did add some little like Polaroid cameras to some of the weekly spreads as well. Then we have February, and this is probably a familiar theme for those of you who used to watch my channel. This little paint roller theme is one that I've done so many times, and again, one that Alyssa requested in this journal. So we used just a bunch of kind of pink and green floral washi tape for the paint. I have never done a little font like this with the paint rollers on the ends of the letters, and I really love that touch. Then we've got our calendar, and then the weekly spreads, where we've got paint rollers running down the middle and then a bucket of paint spilling in the top left-hand corner. And finally we get to March. March is the last theme in this journal, and this is actually one of the themes from my very first custom bullet journal that I did ever for my YouTube channel. At that point, I literally just used a journal that I bought at Dollarama. I only had my Crayola markers from Walmart that I got on a back to school sale. It was like one of my original bullet journal themes before I really got into it. And again, Alyssa dug it up and requested pretty much an exact copy. So that's what we tried to do. And yeah, it was really fun getting to redo this theme because I haven't done this one in years. And this is another new weekly layout that I have never done before. Now, since this journal has 192 pages, we had a lot of space at the back to add extra spreads. That was already a full 12 months that we just went through. And so at the back, Alyssa kind of dedicated that space to her book account on Instagram and TikTok, which is called the Sage Kindle. So she's going to paste in a little picture here. Here's just her color palette, a spot for her to write a blurb about her account. She's got a place to track her followers. A book a day keeps reality away, little reading tracker. Then we've got book bingo over here, an A to Z reading challenge. And then she's got 3 big bookshelves spanning 6 pages. And then here's her monthly favorites. So every month she'll write in her favorite books and then have kind of a bracket where the top book from each month gets narrowed down to the top book of the year. Then she's got her favorite bookshops, a reading playlist, a big page for quotes from the books that she reads. And then she just decided to use the remaining pages as a place to keep track of memories. So she's gonna paste in some pictures that she prints off. She has one of those little like HP Sprocket printers, so she'll print off some pictures, just write some notes and some memories from each month of the year. And I love the color palette. The color palette for these end of the year pages is the same color palette that she uses for her Instagram account. And so we just did that sort of lettering all throughout these back spreads, and I just love how these colors work together. And that brings us to the end of her 192 page journal. I did pretty much the entire thing on TikTok Live with you guys. I think I cheated and did a few habit trackers on my own, but it was so fun to get the feedback from everyone and just have so many more ideas than just my own going into this journal. And I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this flip through of it. All right, thank you guys all so much for watching this video. So as I was talking about at the beginning, I did kind of take a break from custom journals, and I thought that it would be the end of my custom journal journey, but I have decided to try starting it back up. So basically actually pretty much exactly 3 years ago, I was spontaneously put on bed rest and having like emergency surgery to save my pregnancy, all that kind of stuff. Some of you guys may remember that. I did not give much explanation then because I really didn't feel the need. But anyways, that was about 3 years ago. And so that substantially just like, it instantly cut off my ability to make custom journals at that time because I wasn't even allowed to sit upright. And so it just brought a really abrupt end to my custom bullet journals. And then of course, bed rest ended when baby was born, and then postpartum and figuring out motherhood and stuff, I just really didn't see a good opportunity to start custom journals back up. And so I pivoted into some things that were a bit more doable for me, like digital products are a lot more doable than just, you know, making one journal for one person that takes like lots and lots of time, you know what I mean? So I did kind of stay in the bullet journal niche, but I have not been on YouTube consistently in about 2 years. And so my plan now is to move back into custom journals, at least for the time being, just as much as is manageable. So custom journals used to be my main thing. Like I said, during COVID, I was literally doing minimum one custom journal a week. And so I had lots of content therefore for my YouTube channel because most of my videos on YouTube were custom journal flip throughs. And so the reason that I stopped on YouTube is because I didn't have those flip through videos anymore. You know, like if I wasn't gonna make custom journals, I didn't really know what else to share content about. And YouTube for me is a lot of work. I don't naturally, you know, lean towards like, I don't know. I don't know much at all about like video and lighting and video editing and stuff. My husband does. He has all the gear and he's always helped me with my editing. But I really just, now that I didn't have the custom journals for YouTube content, I just didn't know what else to make content about in order to have enough content to actually keep my YouTube channel alive. You know what I mean? So I kind of disappeared from both. And so the plan for now is to just kind of take on one order at a time. I'm guessing that they'll take me about a month, especially if we're doing it on live, because I do go quite a bit slower on live. So to take about one order a month and share that flip through here with you. I still personally am using a digital bullet journal, so I don't know if I'll come back to doing, you know, like monthly plan with me's and stuff like that. I'm really not sure. Now that I'm using physical journals more and doing these custom journals, I am toying with the idea of going back to a physical bullet journal myself, but I'm still not sure if I would share that content on YouTube just because it's so much more work for me to do that than to just film it for an Instagram reel, just because I'm not very like camera savvy, editing savvy, that kind of stuff. But anyways, that is kind of where I'm at. I'm bringing back my custom journals, at least in some capacity. And I do still have some of my empty journals in stock as well. And I have started adding like little customizations that I can think of to those. So right now I'm doing customizations like every person who orders an empty journal will get a free name page. So you can like pick a bullet journal theme and I'll make a title page, but with your name using that theme. And we've been doing that on live as well. You can also pick a charm. I got a bunch of cute little charms like I showed you guys. So anyways, I'm trying to brainstorm ways to make physical journals fit better with my current stage of life, because digital journals have fit quite well. But I know that a lot of my audience kind of lost interest with the digital bullet journals, which I understand, it's not for everyone. And so I did wanted to bring back the physical bullet journals, and that's what I'm planning on doing for now. Just taking roughly one custom bullet journal order a month, making it with you guys on TikTok live, and then flipping through it here on YouTube, sharing tutorials and stuff on Instagram. That is the main place to find me these days, is Instagram. So if you guys have been supporting me all this time, thank you so much. And whether you've been supporting me for a long time or whether you're brand new, feel free to follow along on Instagram. That's where I am the most often. And of course, join our TikTok lives. It is really fun to work together to put together these themes. Yeah, it's been a really neat experience. I've heard people in the chat describe it as like a, you know, choose your own adventure, because we choose every single little nitpicky thing together. We do like tons of votes on everything, which maybe I do a little bit too much, but it's fun to get everyone's input because there's so many like small decisions that go into every bullet journal spread that I didn't even really think about before. I would just, you know, put the marker to the paper and do it. But anyways, that is all I have to share with you guys for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you back here for another custom journal flip through in the near future. Custom journal links, empty journal links, all of that is going to be down below, and thank you so much for your support.